Mic on. Crowd hush. One take. This us. Hit play, that beam come in. Box score brain with a bar game grin. DS walk on the line like a free throw flick. Break plays down, make the jaw get hit. From the baseline beef to the trade talk rumors. Call out cap in the spin room bloopers. Stats on deck, but the slang stay local. Feels like courtside seats, not focal. Double dribble podcast, say it out loud. DS walk talk, running through the crowd. From the tip to the buzzer, we locked in a huddle. If it bounce off glass, then we live in the trouble. Double dribble podcast, that's game, that's law. When the mic go live, whole room say walk.
Welcome to the Double Dribble Podcast. I'm your host, DS Walk. And before we start, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in, dedicating your time to me and to my special guest here, DameBoomin. We got some insight going on today, even though you only see half his face. We're going to talk about the breaking news of the day. We're going to talk about some NBA. We're going to talk about some NFL, some college football play. We're going to talk about a whole lot of stuff. But once again, thank you guys for tuning in. And I want to take this time before we get to our breaking news to let my partner in crime, DameBoomin, to introduce himself to everybody.
How y'all doing? Excited to be on here. Can't wait to talk about sports with y'all guys.
All right. So the breaking news of the day is that Mike Tomlin stepped down after 19 seasons as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin, man, I just don't know how to take it, Damon, because we talking about a guy who set a standard about winning football. He never had a losing season in 19 years. He won one Super Bowl. He won his 200th game, I want to say, against the Detroit Lions. And he won 193 games in total with the Pittsburgh Steelers in the regular season. The 200 is a regular season and postseason combined. He had an 8-12 record in the postseason after 2016. After 2016 was his last playoff victory against the Kansas City Chiefs. The fan base has always been, I should say, unhappy with Mike Tomlin based on playoff success. Should he have won more playoffs and Super Bowls? Yes, he should have. But we also got to understand that Mike Tomlin don't do the grocery shopping. He just get the hand that's dealt to him, and he makes it happen. I mean, we talking about 19 seasons and never had a losing record. I kind of feel Mike Tomlin has never been truly appreciated by the media and by the Steelers fan base. The hardcore Steelers fan base do got a lot of respect for Mike Tomlin. It's these new age fan base where they say he's trash, he's not a good coach, he's not doing this and that. Before I read the article, I want your thoughts.
I feel like it was time, because like you said, 19 years, perfect, like winning record. No one's ever beaten that. And then with the kind of postseason, they ain't won one in now a decade. And the thing is that I understand how fans could be. Like, take me, for example. I know how fans could be whenever, they haven't won nothing in a long time. But I feel like this was the right moment. He needs somewhere, like, fresh. I believe he's still going to be a coach this year. I feel he will be a coach this year. It could be anywhere, but my thing is, I feel like he might go to the NFC side because I feel like the NFC is now getting more competitive than the AFC side. So, you know, all three AFC North coaches are now officially the top three to get a head coaching gig somewhere else. He go to Arizona, Atlanta, Giants. I'll throw this in there. Tennessee, let him develop Cam Ward. I mean, he could go anywhere. I mean, but I feel like it was time to step down, and he needs to start somewhere fresh.
I'm going to throw another team in there before I go any further. The Green Bay Packers are working on an extension with Matt LaFleur. Mike Tomlin's available. I'm quite sure the Green Bay Packers are paying attention to that.
I like that idea, but I have a feeling they might target Harbaugh first before. Because here's the thing, I don't know if they're going to extend Matt LaFleur or not. Because his recent postseason success has been terrible. And not to mention, he just blew an 18-point lead to a division rival. I mean, and plus, this is last year of his contract, so ain't no telling. Yeah, him and the general manager, this is that last year in their contract. So we will see in the next coming days, weeks, whether they get resigned or they'll depart. But here this one. Okay, I got a team. I got a team, great team in mind when I hear this. Mike Tomlin. I'm looking at this. Is gonna sound crazy, but I'll say Philly.
Philly is not going to let go of Nick Sirianni. And the reason I say that is because he is going to make the necessary changes that they want him to make on the offensive side of the football. It's no pushback coming from Nick Sirianni. So I don't see him going to Philly. Now, if I'm Philly, will I entertain our thought? Yes. And look, if I'm every team in NFL except for the Kansas City Chiefs, I would entertain firing my head coach and bringing in Mike Tomlin. I would think about that. I would entertain that thought. Because Mike Tomlin, to me, Mike Tomlin is on the same level as Andy Reid, same level as Greg Popovich in the NBA. These guys know how to coach, develop, and these guys are leader of men. They know how to get the best out of their player. And their playoff success dictate that. Now, the only difference is, like I said, Mike Tomlin, he hasn't won a playoff game since 2016, but he never had a losing season. He's a locker room leader. Players love to play for him.
Well, okay, excuse me for saying Philly. Let's cross out Philly. There's one destination now where I believe he should
Well, we
go.
can cross out Philly. We can cross out San Francisco.
There's one place I believe he should go. No, two places. Correct.
That's here.
Cleveland, Arizona.
I think there is nothing wrong with those destinations whatsoever. And if he decides to coach this season, because he does have 2 years left on his contract, and any team that hires Mike Tomlin will have to give up compensation for him. So it'll be like a trade. So if Mike Tomlin wants to coach this season or next season, a team will have to trade for him. So, but what you said, Arizona and Cleveland would be almost perfect destination just based on what he can do in that locker room. And just Mike Tomlin alone would get you by 6-7 wins.
Maybe even more.
Yeah, maybe. But there is a destination that I think that Mike Tomlin would be perfect for. And actually, I think like if he got the time, he can build that team the way that team should be built, played, the New York Jets. Nothing against Aaron Glenn, but you got young talent there. Mike Tomlin can develop. You can bring in a veteran quarterback, or let me phrase that. When I mean a veteran quarterback, I'm thinking guys like
there's only one that comes
Justin
to mind.
Herbert,
Nah.
those young veteran quarterbacks, something like one of them, or he can bring in a stopgap quarterback this season because the quarterback talent in the next year's draft is going to be deep. I mean, they're going to have a picking.
There's one QB. If Tomlin goes to the Jets, there's one QB that I believe that should go there to be under his wing. And it's that bad man from Arizona, Kyler Murray.
But see, I don't know if the Cardinals want to give up. Or I should say, I don't know if the Jets want to give up that type of what I'm trying to say. The compensation for Kyler Murray might be a little too high for the Jets.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, me personally, I'll be honest, he is not a first round pick. He's not worth the first round pick.
No, he's not. But you gotta think about it. Like certain teams get different packages. Like so, right now he is worth a 3, a 5, and a 7. Right now, that's his value. 3 picks, 3, 5, and a 7. Now, a team like the Jets, who needs a quarterback because of their weapons they got in the backfield and on the outside, it might cost the Arizona might ask for it too. He's not worth it too.
I'll be honest, if it comes down to it, I can sacrifice one of my first round picks because, not to mention, they have 7 total first round picks in the next 2 upcoming drafts. If they ask for one first round pick, I wouldn't even hurt, but I wouldn't even hurt to give one up because I will still have 6 first round picks where I can draft the right guy, develop them and everything. Or or you could trade two of them for a big superstar on defensive side or offensive side of the ball.
You could,
And not to mention
but
they have a lot of cap space and salary, so they can sign again to develop. I mean, to to fill around him, to fill around Kyler Murray, or get that superstar and then go to free agency and build around that player on the defensive side of the ball.
well, let's say if it's not Kyler Murray, let's say just throwing it out here. Let's say he wants Shadir Sanders and he brings him to the Jets because
Mm.
it's going to think about it. There's going to be a new head coach in Cleveland. He probably want to start fresh. He probably not going to want anybody, not quarterback rooms on that roster right now, minus Deshaun Watson because his contract he's going to have to stay. Let's say if the new head coach wants to draft a young quarterback or bring in a quarterback off the streets, and he doesn't want Shadir Sanders or he doesn't want Dylan Gabriel. Let's say if Mike Tomlin decides to, hey, you know what, I'm gonna go to the Jets. The Jets fire Aaron Glenn and his entire staff. Mike Tomlin come in with his entire staff. Let's say they make a trade for Shadir Sanders or Dylan Gabriel. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. He can develop a young quarterback. Let's try. Let's say with Shadir. Shadir got an arm. He got good pocket presence. He just needs some seasoning. He needs some good coaching. He needs a coach that's going to believe in him. He needs the backing of a good head coach, a good veteran head coach, and a
I
coach who's
love
going
that
to let
idea.
Shadir be himself. How many times we see Mike Tomlin let his players be himself? Prime example, Antonio Brown. Le'Veon Bell.
I like the idea. I'll throw another quarterback name out there. It might not get a lot of praise, but I feel like it'll be good. Mac Jones.
Mac Jones is someone having a resurgence of his career with the 49ers as a backup. I don't know who his contract situation is, but I'm quite sure that he'll be a free agent or he will be traded because he wants to compete for a starting position. He's not going to get that in San Francisco. He played well in San Francisco this past season. He actually played well. He was in Jacksonville. I can see that. Or if they want to go the veteran quarterback route, ladies and gentlemen, we just shop talking. This is something that we think that's going to happen. Kirk Cousins.
Ooh. Oh, that's a sleeper. Yeah. I see Kirk now. Yeah, I see Kirk now. He can make Gary Wilson the top five. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that vision out.
But like I said, we don't know what Mike Tomlin's going to do. He probably won't coach these next 2 seasons just because of his contract situation. He might do TV for 2 years and come back. He might want to continue coaching, and the team, whoever wants him, hires him, will have to give up compensation for him. We don't know what Mike Tomlin's thinking right now, but we do know that he's the type of man to make any type of decisions out of emotions. So we all know he's a level-headed man. So we don't know what his plans are. But we will find out because at some point he's going to tell us what he wants to do. All we can do is sit back and wait. Now, if you the Pittsburgh Steelers and you in that locker room, because he did tell the players what he told the media, what we're going through your mind right now?
See, I ain't gonna lie. This is gonna be crazy. I believe before I say that I say something real quick. I believe because of this now that has happened, I believe that TJ Watt is going to request a trade.
You think
But
so?
yeah, I believe now Mike Tomlin's leaving. I feel like TJ Watt will request a trade. But how I would feel if I was one of his players, I would be heartbroken, but also I'll be happy for him because now he doesn't have to hear all the negativity from fans or from the sports media about this coaching decision, that coaching decision. He could just take some time off, recover from all this, and then when you feel like the time is right to come back coaching, then I'll be there to support him because he's been there. He's been there for the players since day one, and it'll be our turn to return the favor. We need to be there for him when he needs us the most.
Yeah, I agree. We live in a day and age where everybody think certain coaches or certain players are trash because they're not giving out the results. Mike Tomlin been doing this for 19 years. And I just said it many, many times already. The man never had a losing season.
Mm-mm.
The man worked with the groceries, with the players that he have, and he makes it happen. He doesn't complain about it as far as we know. He's a go out here and just does his job. And I always say, like, because he's the head coach, he takes more of the criticism because he's the face of the franchise. The general manager is the one who does all the shopping, who puts the roster together. And don't get me wrong, Mike Tomlin does has to say. But the general manager has constantly failed, in my opinion, has failed Mike Tomlin over the years of didn't get him a franchise quarterback, never gave him a true number 2 wide receiver, never gave him a dominant running game. When you think of the Pittsburgh Steelers, you always think about this: quarterback, running game, defense. And for the last 6-7 years, the Pittsburgh Steelers have 1 out of the 3, or 0 out of the 3, or 2 out of the 3. With the Pittsburgh Steelers, everything has lined up for them to have the success they want. And also something came to mind is that this Steelers job, regardless of nobody think, is a very attractive job based on the history and the culture of the Pittsburgh Steelers that's been created ever since they became an NFL franchise. I mean, we talking about in their lifetime 3 head coaches. Now they're going there 4. Who you think should be the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers? I got a guy. Actually, I have a guy in mind, but I also have one where it would be like a slap in the face.
I have one and slap in the face.
I think me and you got the same guy.
Michael Marone McCarthy.
That's your slap in the face?
Mike McCarthy.
Why is that? Who was slap in the face to? To whom?
If Aaron Rodgers returns for one more season, that slap in the face will be towards him. Because the last Aaron Rodgers, like Mike McCarthy last year in Green Bay, he was calling plays for Aaron Rodgers, and they was not on the same page about anything, and they had a terrible record that year. So I believe it'll be, if Aaron Rodgers does return for a year and they hire Mike McCarthy, it'd be a slap in the face towards Aaron Rodgers.
Well, Aaron Rodgers had a lot of success under Mike McCarthy. He might not like playing with Mike McCarthy again, but he had a lot of success under Mike McCarthy. He won a Super Bowl under Mike McCarthy. But I don't anticipate Aaron Rodgers coming back for another season. I think he's done. I mean, we seen how he played this season. He done.
It was, honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest. Most of it wasn't his fault. Most of it wasn't his fault.
True. And I say this again, when he's with the Jets, everybody was pretty disappointed the way he played with the New York Jets. And I keep telling everybody, when you come back from an ACL tear, I don't care if you're a quarterback, wide receiver, running back, that first year back, you're not going to be the same player. And the simple fact that he came back as a 41-year-old player, he was not going to be the same Aaron Rodgers. That little mobility he had, gone. He spent more time rehabbing, trying to get right with his ACL tear, instead of doing football-related activities that would help his recovery, his rehabbing. So he was not going to come back as the same player. What we seen at Aaron Rodgers last year with the Jets, that's what I expected. This season, we just seen Aaron Rodgers as the old quarterback. I mean, sure, nothing was all his fault, but there were a lot of passes this season where he just didn't make. There was a lot of plays on the field he just didn't make because he's not that same player. I keep saying it's a difference between an athletic quarterback and a quarterback that can move around the pocket, and Tom Brady. Tom Brady beat you more with his mind and knowledge and IQ of the football game. Aaron Rodgers has some mobility in the pocket. He could beat you with his IQ. He could beat you with his mind. He can beat you with his veteran experience. One of those things that was important to him went away. Couldn't do that anymore. That's his mobility. And even though he tried to beat you with his IQ and knowledge of the game, it's just that the players around him, Boomin, is just not on the same level as Aaron. Aaron Rodgers looked like a better version of Peyton Manning when Peyton Manning played his last season in the NFL. And that's the truth. The only difference is that Peyton Manning squad had an elite defense. If the Steelers had an elite defense, they would probably still be in the playoffs.
26th ranked defense. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. Now, my slap in the face higher, which I get to, the one guy who I would mind seeing in Pittsburgh, if Pittsburgh want to turn the page and get a different style head coach, be Mike McDaniel. Because Mike McDaniel, he's a he's a he's a run first head coach, in which some of these head coaches are. They like to run the football a lot. But the difference, let's say him apart from a lot of these other coaches, is his creativity on how to run the ball. And it doesn't matter what type of quarterback he has. If he has weapons on the outside, I mean, with DK Metcalf, he will make it happen. I mean, Mike McDaniel is a creative offensive mind. Cliff Kingsbury is a very creative offensive mind head coach. So if the Steelers wanted something different as a head coach, an offensive minded young coach with creativity, those two guys I would look to. Now, my slap in the face head coach would be John Harbaugh to rub it in on the Baltimore Ravens.
That would be insane.
And if you get him a quarterback, just a quarterback and another receiver with that team, with those two additions, they will not only they'll be the best team in the AFC North, but I guarantee you they'll be in the AFC Championship game because John Harbaugh will have something to prove. And he'll be pissed off by being let go by the Baltimore.
Yeah, that's a good pick. But look, so our coworker, right? He's a mega Steelers fan. I told him, I always tell him this. I said the biggest mistake that they ever made in the recent few years was letting go of Najee Harris, because the last 2 3 couple of years they haven't had a running game. They haven't had a heavy running game. With Najee, Najee can give you that, which you can, and they can focus on the run, take out a play action, because that's what Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the more run play action QB. They didn't do that a lot this year because they don't have a running game like that. Sure, Jalen Warren, he had some games in some moments, but he wasn't running the football like that. He was running the football against bad defenses. Like a tough defense, Najee could give you that, because FYI, his rookie year, he had 1,000 yards rushing with no weapons that Ben Roethlisberger had. And I just feel like the biggest mistake, yeah, was letting Najee Harris go. Because now I feel like now they're gonna go. I feel like now they lean towards Will Howard, which they probably gonna give him a shot at how he does, and probably draft defensive players and a possibility to running back. If next season don't turn out the way they turn out, it could be bad, and they could possibly be tanked for Arch Manning.
Well, let me correct you. We got two co-workers that are Pittsburgh Steelers fans.
Yeah, too.
And here's my thing. I'm going to start with Najee Harris, what you just said. Najee Harris, I mean, if you see how he's playing if you see how he played with the Chargers this past season, is it really I mean, he didn't show up.
I mean, he got hurt. He tore his ACL game one.
He did. But prior to that, here's the problem with the Steelers and Najee Harris. You had Najee Harris, but you didn't have offensive line. You had Najee Harris in offensive line, but you had no quarterback. You had Najee Harris, no offensive line, and you had a receiver at that time was very disruptive. He played when he wanted to play. And because of that, because of your wide receiver situation, because you ain't had no decent or a good quarterback, it was easy for teams to line up and stop Najee Harris, easy to stop the run. And then once you didn't have all three, I mean, all bets were off. Now, is Najee Harris a good young running back? Yes, he is. He's a tough guy. I mean, he's about 6'2", 6'3", about 2'4", 250 pounds. I'm not going to say Najee Harris underachieved at Pittsburgh, because Najee Harris really didn't have anything around him all at once to be able to showcase what he can do, my personal opinion. I mean, it's hard to run the football if your offensive line is not good and the weapons at the wide receiver position is not good. I mean, your best offensive weapon at that time with the Pittsburgh Steelers was their tight end.
And he was very underutilized this year.
Right. And nothing against George Pickens. When he was there, he produced, but he didn't produce in the way where you expected number one seed produce. What I mean is, he didn't show up all the time. He played when he wanted to play. He was more disruptive in Pittsburgh compared to how he's playing in Dallas, because DameBoomin, I always say this about any player in professional sport. When it's time, when it's contract year, when it's time to like, hey, I want my money, I want to get paid, you gonna ball your ass out no matter what. Every player does this. I don't care you name it. Anytime a player wants a big money contract, they're gonna ball out. George Pickens balled out for the Dallas Cowboys this season. And you got it thinking why he couldn't do that in Pittsburgh while he was there. We seen it in flashes, but he was dominant over there in Dallas. He wasn't like that in Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna say the one thing. QB.
Right. He didn't have the QB, but he was also immature.
That's what the locker said. That's what the locker said. And look, hit the QBs that he had before he had Dak.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph,
Mason Rudolph,
terrible. Russell
Kenny Pickett.
Wilson,
Yeah, Russell Wilson.
Kenny Pickett. Yeah, they were
Justin
terrible.
Fields.
Justin Fields was just horrible.
And now,
So
I mean,
you
now
got Dak Prescott.
he said he wanted a quarterback, and look, he got an all pro quarterback, and look, now he's the all pro.
Yeah. Now let's keep it real. He wanted a quarterback who's gonna hold him accountable. I'm quite sure Mike Tomlin wanted that quarterback too. Oh yeah, he did have one. Called his name was Ben Roethlisberger. He retired.
Yeah, Big Ben. Now they're talking about they want Big Ben to come out of retirement to help out, and he don't need to do that.
No.
He doesn't. But
No.
I'm sad but happy for Mike Tomlin because now he can rest, recover, and when he feel like the time is right to go back to coaching, then he can.
Yes. And like I said, we don't know what his plan is going to be, but I'm quite sure he's going to look around and he's going to want to be in the perfect situation, the perfect opportunity. Mike Tomlin, in my opinion, probably want to be the coach where he's the missing piece to a team to get to the Super Bowl. So we're going to find out here. We're going to find out what his plan is going to be. We're going to find out what the Steelers going to look going forward. Like I said, the Pittsburgh Steelers is an attractive job based on history, success. However, the downside is with the Pittsburgh Steelers is that you won't be able to cook the groceries. To pick the groceries. You get to cook them, but you won't get what you always want. And the simple fact that the front office, they don't believe in spending money like that. It's a shame that you got a lot of team owners here who really don't want to invest in their team like that. It takes a player to call out the franchise so they can get paid. That's sad. That is so sad. But we're going to move along. So let's do this rapid fire since we got about a little bit 11 minutes left in the show. And we're going to start out with the NBA. A report came out that Anthony Davis is to undergo hand surgery and miss several months, while the Mavs are also renewing trade talks with multiple teams about Anthony Davis. Do you believe the Dallas Mavericks are going to be able to move Anthony Davis with this latest injury? And do you think he's going to get his contract extension that he wants?
Just retire. At this point, he has to retire. Every game he gets hurt. He just
And by the
has to
way,
retire.
that was breaking news too, by the way, right before the Mike Tomlin.
He got to retire. I'm sorry. I love AD, but I'll be honest, when he left the Pelicans, he became Hollywood. He became Hollywood with the Lakers. Cool. He got us another ring. Cool. After that, he has been inconsistently getting hurt nonstop. I feel like at this point he got to retire. Mavericks they don't need to trade him. No team should trade for AD at all. He should just retire at this point because it's getting ridiculous.
I think AD injury history is very frustrating for the team and for AD. I think AD needs to sit down and might need to have one of those conversations about not retiring, because I don't think he should retire. I think AD needs to have one of those talks with someone close to him or someone not close to him about, yo, I'm not that same player anymore. I'm not worth that max contract extension I'm looking for. I think AD gonna have to start prioritizing what's best for him from here on out. Is it gonna be the money, or is it gonna be about competing and winning championships? Because the AD situation, he cannot have both. If there was AD 10 years ago, AD, yeah, he can have both. But AD right now, he can't have both. And if I'm AD, I'm leaning towards I'm about to prioritize winning championships than the money. Because no team, I don't care if it's the Lakers all the way down to the New Orleans Pelicans, old team is gonna get him that max 3 year contract extension. It's not gonna happen. So of all of the NFL coaches, who you believe gonna be the first one to accept the job?
If I had to pick one, I'll say Stefanski,
With who?
the Tennessee Titans.
Okay, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think it would be Mike McDaniel, and I think it would be with the Cleveland Browns. For a minute, I felt that Mike McDaniel would probably go back to be an OC on a very good team like the Detroit Lions. But then he got an interview with the Cleveland Browns. And because he coached in Cleveland, I think he will go to Cleveland, be the new head coach. And I think he'd be the first one to accept the position.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like out of all the coaches that are available right now, I feel like him. I bet he's the only one that could develop Shador the right way. I told I told another coworker, I said that Mike McDaniel he could develop Shador. I told him that he said Jerry Judy's number one. This that. So I said no. I said Jerry Judy can't be number one. I told him they need to go and trade for AJ Brown. Trade for AJ Brown, solidify him as the number one for Shador, and have Jerry Judy as the number two, play the Devontae Smith role. So that way it could develop Shador, and plus you have a running game in Junkins, you have a tight end in Harold and Njoku. You have a solid top five defense. So I believe the missing piece really for Cleveland is that number one receiver because they have everything around except that number one receiver. They can go get AJ Brown because I feel like he's done in Philly. They can go get AJ Brown. Mike McDaniel can develop Shador into possibility a top 15, 16 quarterback in the NFL.
All right. All right. Now let's move along. Well, let me get my little thoughts here. No, you know what? I'll save it because it does about AJ Brown. I'll save it. We're gonna go to college football playoffs. We got the Indiana Hoosiers undefeated versus the Miami Hurricanes for the college football national championship, played in Miami, of course, with Miami as the visiting team. Who do you have winning? Miami or Indiana?
I got Indiana 42-28.
I got Miami winning. Here's why. They're playing at home. The home crowd gonna be there.
I know, but
Miami has this energy going that is special. Same with Indiana. Indiana got this energy going that's really special. Indiana been having this energy for the last about 2 years.
their fans been traveling a lot.
Yes. Will I be shocked if Indiana wins it? No. But Miami right now, a team that was not supposed to be in the college football playoffs, a team that was criticized for being selected, a team that lost to Duke, a team that, for the most part of the season, they lost 2 or 3 games they weren't supposed to lose. To make this run the college football playoffs and beat the teams they beat, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, they beat some heavyweight. And their quarterback hasn't really put it together yet. I think Miami gonna win because I do believe that the Miami Hurricanes, their quarterback Carson Beck, finally gonna put this together. And that defense is on the same level as the Hoosiers' defense.
Can I
I
can
got
I say
Miami
something about
doing it.
that? Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I hate I hated all I hated every Texas and Notre Dame fan because they said that Miami doesn't deserve to be in. Well, FYI, if Notre Dame played Texas, Texas A&M they would have lost. If Texas already beat Texas A&M, let's say they advance. There was both of them teams who was most definitely going to lose to Ohio State. Both teams, and both teams would have lost to Ole Miss. So I don't see what they're complaining about because Miami clearly shows that they're a way better team than out of those two teams. Now you can make a case for Tulane. You can make a case for Tulane about being in. Even though James Madison got blew out, they deserve respect in the world because at least they put up points. At least they put up a lot of points. But Miami was the surprise of the whole college football playoffs. In my opinion, they had the hardest route to get to the national championship. They had the hardest route. And I agree with you. They have a top five defense in the country. But
And they got a running game. Whew.
they do have a running game, but I believe it's gonna be a shootout, which I believe that's why I said 42-28. I believe when that fourth quarter hits, I feel like Carson Beck will make a mistake to make Indiana go up 35-28. And then they get a stop. Indiana goes down and scores again, 28. That's why I said I feel like it's gonna be 28-28 in fourth quarter, and then Carson Beck makes a mistake and Indiana takes advantage of it.
I don't know what the final score is going to be, but I do know it's going to be a very good game. It's going to be a close game, and I did pick Miami to win. I just think that just playing at home behind that home crowd is going to be crazy. Your boy Michael Irvin going to be nuts. Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Cam Ward, all the former U players going to be in the house on those sidelines. Hell, we might see some of them throw on the shoulder pads in the uniform.
But you said Miami gonna be a visiting team?
Yes. The Hurricanes are the visiting team. The Hoosiers are the home team.
How is that possible?
It's the playoffs, man. Seeds. The seeding. That's how it go, man.
Oh, the seniors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for the same.
Yeah. So it's gonna be nuts, man. I can't not wait to watch this next Monday. Now
I'll be at work.
those other teams you name, Tulane and James Madison, they deserve to get there. I just do believe that the college football playoff community need to have a conversation about how they're going to move things going forward because nobody wants to see blowout games anymore.
Well,
so
you
they're
heard
going to
that.
have to do a better job of putting the right teams in this playoff, but the right seeding as well.
You heard that they're supposed to be talking about expanding it even more.
And 16 would be nice.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard they're talking about expanding it to 16 or keeping it 12.
16 would be nice, but don't reward a team like a who did Tulane play? Ole Miss, right? Don't reward Ole Miss a layup. That's all I'm saying.
And then next week they get into a shootout game against Georgia.
Right. Don't reward Ole Miss a layup. All right. Final one. We have 40 games in NBA season. I need you to give me your surprise team and your disappointment team and your team, two teams, who you think will be in the NBA Finals.
My surprising team?
And your MVP.
My surprising team?
Your surprising team, disappointing team, the teams that could be in the finals, and your MVP of the National Basketball Association.
My surprising team? I have two, but the number one surprising team for me is Boston. I'm gonna be honest. I literally said that they're gonna be a low top. They're gonna be a low top 6 seed team, but they proved me wrong. They're the second. They're the second seed in the East, behind and without Jason Tatum, and he's supposed to be coming back this year. If Jason Tatum comes back,
we'll see if they let him come back.
I feel like they will. If they're a top seeded team in the playoffs, I feel like they no. Let me rephrase that. If they make the Eastern Conference Finals, then I believe he'll be back. If they make the Eastern Conference Finals, I believe he'll be back because the way they're playing the way they're playing defense right now, the biggest threat to the Pistons are the Boston Celtics, in my opinion. Now, the most disappointing team, me personally, I'm about to say the Lakers, my Lakers, because it's just that we came into this season with so much. We came to the season with so much pressure on us because we was second. We was favored as the biggest threat to the OKC Thunder. And we started out the season 12-4. Since then, we've been ranked 26th in defense efficiency. We ranked in the bottom 5 in bench points. We have the worst bench in the league. Like, I don't know what's going on, but JJ is gonna have to Rob Pelinka is gonna have to make some calls or something to get defensive pieces because it's just like every time the game's close, it leads into a straight blowout. Like last night, for example, I checked my phone to check to see how we're doing against the Kings. We're losing 90 something to 60 something. Like what? The Kings, I'm like, it's getting out of hand. Like the defense has to get fixed because yeah, I don't know. Let's see. You said surprise, disappointing, and my MVP.
And
MVP.
what two teams gonna beat in the NBA Finals? So give me your
Okay.
MVP.
MVP right now, Luca. It's a three-way tie. Luca, Shea, Giannis. And
Okay.
now for the finals, I'm gonna have to say it. Boston and OKC. I don't see nobody being OKC in 7 game series. Now, don't get me wrong. The Spurs have been beating them. The Spurs have been beating them. But in the postseason, when it matters the most, I'm trusted OKC more. Now, the team in the West, I feel like that can beat OKC help when they are healthy, the Nuggets. I feel like that's the only team in the West right now, healthy wise, that can take OKC in a 7 game series. But other than that, I see OKC coming out of the West, and if Tatum comes back for Boston, I feel like Boston gonna come out of the East.
Okay. Okay. And all right. And I'm gonna give you my list. So my most surprising team is the Philadelphia 76ers. Tyrese Maxey is averaging over 34 points per game. He is a de facto team leader, and they're building this team around him. You're getting something out of Joe Embiid and Paul George, and that game you like to give you something. They're sitting at 22-16. I didn't expect the 76ers to have this type of record right now. I always kind of felt that they would probably be either out of the playoffs or battling for a play-in position. Tyree Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, they deserve a lot of credit for keeping this team afloat. And I got to give it to Joe Embiid and Paul George. They're not giving you all right now, but they give you what they have. And that's all you can ask for two injury-prone players. Just give me what you can. Even though they're not playing back-to-back, even though they're not playing a lot of games, but when they do play, they are productive on both sides of the court. So I appreciate that part. My most disappointing team is the Golden State Warriors because I went into this thought of this season that front office is going to do what they can to get younger, to get some good younger fresh legs in there instead of getting these old veteran players because the game has changed. I always say, like, if you want to extend the life and the playing career of Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler, you need to surround them with good young players so that this team won't look old, feel old, or play old. Good young players mesh with the Golden State Warriors. I kind of felt that they could have extended their run. Like, I kind of feel like right now, the Golden State Warriors should be first or second place in their division. They are sitting right now, let me pull it up, in their division. The Golden State Warriors are in third place in the Pacific Division, and they're sitting at number 8 in the playoffs right now. I kind of felt that they got Moses Moody, but they're not using Moses Moody right. You got Jonathan Kuminga, but you're trying to get rid of Jonathan Kuminga because of his situation with Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr don't use him because Steve Kerr don't like coaching young players. Whereas if we develop this young player, it'll be better for the franchise. Nope, got rid of him. Just like you got rid of James Wiseman. Now with James Wiseman, he played, but they didn't believe in him. They sent him to the G League. When he came back, he was balling. He tore his knee up. They didn't believe him in no more. They didn't have no confidence in James White, just like they got no confidence in Kuminga. Any young player they had, even Jordan Poole to a certain extent, they didn't believe in them, so they got rid of these young players. I'm disappointed in that front office of the Golden State Warriors because they should have got young players to help with your core veteran players. My MVP of the NBA right now, as it stands, is a tie. It's between Tyrese Maxey and Cade Cunningham. I seen was SGA when he's done with the OKC Thunder, great. But when we look at Oklahoma City Thunder, they more than SGA. I mean, for crying out loud, they sat down, they top 7 players and played the bench, and they beat someone by 30 points. I think it was Utah. Tyrese Maxey is because of what he is doing with the Philadelphia 76ers. Cade Cunningham is because of the way he just took his game to another level. as probably the best American point guard in the NBA. And he got his Detroit Pistons sitting at 28-10, first in his division, but also first in the Eastern Conference.
Over Luca?
Luka's having a nice season, but
He's the
his
number one.
team
He's
is
the number
not.
one. I know, but he's the number one scorer right now.
Yeah, he is. But the Lakers are 23-14. They're first they're first in their division, but they haven't played well. I mean, 23-14, they're a good team, but they're not a team I can sit here and say that team's gonna go to the finals. That team gonna make some noise in the postseason.
You think the Pistons gonna go to the finals?
I think the Pistons will get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think they had the opportunity. I take it like this. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna keep it a buck here. I expect the Detroit Pistons to get to the second round of the playoffs and make some noise. Do I think they're the best team in the Eastern Conference right now? Yes, I do. Do I think they're gonna continue to play this type of way in the second half of the season? No, I don't. Because I expect the New York Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers to figure things out. I think Boston is playing some very good basketball, and I think that Boston will be in the postseason. I don't think Jason Tatum's gonna come back unless Boston gets to the NBA Finals or the Eastern Conference Finals. Then I can entertain our thought that he might come back, but that is if and only if that front office allows him to come back. Because we seen all the tapes, he's ahead of schedule. He's out there playing hooping and playing ball. But I also do know that the Boston Celtics are not going to rush him back. If he's not ready, he's not ready. Don't matter how he look on tape. If he's not ready, he's just not ready. If they want to come back right now, he's not going to come back. My teams that will get to the NBA Finals, the New York Knicks, and it pains me to say that because I'm a Pistons fan. I love my Pistons. But I'm going to run the New York Knicks, and I'm going to say the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm not too sure about Denver because of Jokic's injury. I know he's out for 4 weeks, but that's the type of injury that can linger through the rest of the season. I want to say San Antonio because out of all the teams in the Western Conference, they match up pretty well against the Oklahoma City Thunder because there's no answer for Wemby and for Stephen Castle, De'Aaron Fox, and Dylan Harper. There's no answer for those four players when they play. Oklahoma City can't contain those four players. Denver, like I said, Jokic, that injury's going to linger. And I just don't know.
We forgot to tell you. Houston.
Houston has no point guard.
Amen Thompson.
Houston has no point guard. And then the thing with Houston is they want to play big. You can play big all you want, but
yeah, you see, they gave OKC hell.
You're not gonna beat a team like OKC and San Antonio playing big. I'm sorry.
I mean, they did give OKC hell.
And they gave them hell, but they didn't beat them. And look, the Lakers can give OKC hell all they want, but they're not gonna beat them.
Don't get me wrong. Like I feel like Houston can take on the Spurs. They could take them. They could take them in a 7-game series.
I'm taking the Spurs.
I'm
gonna take those young legs over. I'm gonna take
KD. I mean, you have a clutch player in KD, and plus, not to mention, you'll have veteran experience. Because not to mention, they win a 7-game series against Golden State last year, and I believe that experience is gonna come into play if those two teams meet in the playoffs.
Maybe. I mean, look, I'm not taking anything away from Houston. I think Houston's a very good team. I think their big lineup could dominate against certain teams, but I just kind of believe that a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder would be a bad matchup for them. And I kind of think them going big at San Antonio doesn't matter at San Antonio because they got the biggest player on the court. And you're not going to stop him once he's on with his inside-outside game. And he's the best defensive player in the NBA. So to me, unless Wemby gets hurt, I expect to see OKC versus San Antonio in the Western Conference Final. And let me touch on your Lakers. Let me be honest with you and all my fan base here. When I was growing up, there's only two teams I love: my Pistons and my Lakers. Back in the 80s, I had a Lakers jacket. I had those Magic Johnson Converse All-Stars. When Magic Johnson retired, it broke my heart because he was my favorite player growing up. When Kobe Bryant came along, I mean, I never stopped being a Laker fan after Magic Johnson. But when Kobe came along, Kobe brought that fire back in that Laker organization onto that team. I love Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's a self-made superstar. He was the 13th pick. He wasn't highly talked about. He was, but not that much as a LeBron James or a Carmelo Anthony. He went 13 to Charlotte and was traded to the Lakers. He couldn't shoot a basketball to save his life, and he put the work in the offseason. He had to earn his start position because he had to beat out Eddie Jones for 2 years in a row. 3 years, I think 2 or 3 years in a row, he kept losing to Eddie Jones. So he finally beat him, became a starter. What I'm saying is to you, Dame, is that I'm not a fan of this Laker team. Ever since LeBron became the Los Angeles Laker, I have not been a fan. I respect LeBron. I do believe LeBron has lived up to everything he has set out to do, and he deserves credit for that. But the Lakers, since LeBron got there, since Luka been there, they've been soft. I hate to say it. They've been soft. I see more crying and whining from Laker fans and from Laker players than I see X's and O's and winning. The Lakers are sitting at 23-14, first place in their division. And I'm sitting here telling you on January 13th at 2:57 p.m., the Los Angeles Lakers is not going to make any type of noise in postseason because they don't care about winning right now. You know what they care about? You know why Luka's there? Because Luka put butts in those seats. You know why LeBron James was there? Because he put butts in those seats. And now you got both of them. You got one who's going ahead to his prime, and he's about to put up spectacular numbers. And you got another one who's at the almost at the end of his career, and is putting up numbers that don't mean anything. It doesn't. So I'm gonna take the LeBron equation out of this and say the Lakers surround Luka Doncic with fruity pebbles, honeycombs, and a pack of Skittles. They surround him with trash, garbage, no good players. If you want to sit here and say Austin Reeves is an all-star, go right ahead. You know what I call Austin Reeves? Role player who's having a very, very, very good season until he got hurt. And he's still, once he come back, is he back now?
Uh, I think he's being reevaluated this week or next week.
Okay, so once he come back, you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna continue where he left off. He's gonna put up some very good numbers. Why? Because I said it earlier on the show. It's contract year. He has to show up. He has to. Now, last season, we played good. He improved. This year, contract year, hell yeah, he's gonna ball out. Am I gonna sit here and say is he worth $30-40 million? I'm not finna say that because I want that young man get his money. But even when they do pay him, the Lakers are still not gonna be a good team, man. Until they put a complement pieces around Luka. Get him a true big man that can give a double and play some defense. Get him a two-way wing player. That's not a role player, but a two-way wing player that's on the verge of being a star or a superstar. Get him a running mate that can take off the load from off of him. Get him a backup point guard where he come in and he take over the ball hand responsibility. And for Luka himself, as great as he is, I want to see him improve on defense. But until all those things happen, the Lakers, who's in the first place in the Pacific Division, number 5 in the Western Conference, are not going to make no noise. And it's not because of LeBron James, because LeBron James is 23 years in, and he is giving his all, and he's an old man. Sure, his numbers look good. I'm not going to say or deny that. His numbers look good, but he's not the same player anymore. Y'all need to understand that LeBron stopped playing defense about 7-8 years ago. He stopped playing defense. He is not the same LeBron James that everybody loved back when he was doing it all. He is not that player no more. I kind of feel like LeBron James is putting up empty calories. He doesn't affect the Lakers if they win or lose. He doesn't. That's Luka Doncic and Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, Jackson Hayes, Rudy Hachimura, all those scrubs. And I say that lightly because I know they're NBA players. They're good, but they're scrubs. They're not superstar players. They're not star players. When you think of the Los Angeles Lakers, you know the history. What they did well back in the day, they draft well, they develop their players well, and they make their own superstars. Players, free agents over the years will love and kill to come to the Lakers. You don't see that now.
Uh-uh.
You don't see that. Everybody back in the day when I was coming wanted to be a Laker. You don't see that no more. So until the Los Angeles Lakers get their head out their ass and stop living on past success and past reputation, they're not going to make no noise. That's all I got.
Boy,
That was a lot, huh?
that was a lot.
Yeah. I'm not a LeBron hater, man. I think LeBron's one of the two or three greatest players to play all time. And I say it again, the man accomplished everything he needed to set out to do in the NBA. And then some. He took it to another level. This man is a billionaire basketball player because of the work he's done off the court and on the court. LeBron James changed the way guys. I'm sorry. LeBron James took what Kobe Bryant did, how players get paid off the court, to another level. I gave him that. LeBron James is the all-time lead NBA scorer. I gave him all that, all the record, everything he set out to do. He earned all of that, but he is not the same player. I need all you guys just to understand that, realize that is that what he's giving you right now is what he can give you. But he doesn't affect wins or losses on the Lakers, and the Lakers' mystique as a franchise is not there anymore. They just got Luka to fill those butts, put those butts in the seats. If they was really serious about building a contender team around Luka, they would have done it this past offseason. You never heard the Lakers ever struggling to get free agents to come there or trade players to get there. Never. But nobody that want to play in LA. It's keeping it buck, my brother. Your thoughts?
In the comments, everything you said was right. I know.
Yeah. So while you say Rob Pelinka needs to go ahead and do something, your best bet, fire Rob Pelinka. I like that their owner, Walters, who owns the Los Angeles Dodgers, he will spend money. He will spend money to get top-notch talent here and execs here. Your best bet, every Laker fan, best bet, fire Rob Pelinka. Get a GM who has the same vision as your owner and who's not going to cut corners and sign C-level players where you need A- or B+ players around Luka. Because if you're trying to build the Lakers like the Dallas Mavericks, that's not going to happen. If you want Luka to carry the Lakers like he did the Dallas Mavericks, that's not going to happen. Give that man a big that can command the post, who can play defense. And while Luka is sitting on the sideline, on the bench, he can run that team. You don't lose no scoring. And I don't think this is gonna happen. I would love to see Jokic in LA with Luka, because you're not gonna leave anything. If Luka go on the bench, you got Jokic there. He can man the offense. He can get everybody involved. He can create his shot. He can create for others. I would love to see Karl-Anthony Towns in LA, because he's a big that can shoot from the outside. And if you cuss him out the right way, he's a big that will get in the post. And playing with Luka would elevate his game. I would love to see what's my man's name? Shoot. I would love to see Zion in LA, because he'll be motivated to play for a story franchise. That the franchise that he actually wanted to play for, a story franchise like the Knicks and Lakers. I'd love to see Paul George over there, and with the Lakers, because they rejuvenate his career. And he's a veteran player who everybody in the locker room is going to respect. I'm just throwing names out there, but if the Lakers want to get back to their dynasty days, they got to look themselves hard in the mirror, and they got to understand that what they have, don't take advantage of it, don't disrespect it. So with that said, what are you looking forward to this week in sports?
All my winners will be.
What are you looking forward to? What's your big storyline this week?
Big storyline this week is, and really, yeah, okay. My big storyline this week is, well, I have two. One, can You know what? I'll just stick with this one. Can Josh Allen overcome that monster of a defense and carry his Buffalo Bills to the AFC Championship game?
Okay. My big storyline. Oh, wait a minute. Breaking news. Breaking news. And it's really not breaking news. We all knew this was going to happen. The Philadelphia Eagles fired their offensive coordinator, Kevin Patillo, and the Eagles will be now looking for their fifth offensive coordinator since I guess they won a Super Bowl. Mike Tomlin released a statement, and I'm going to read that statement for everybody. During our meeting today, Coach Tomlin informed me, that's Art Rooney II, not me, because he informed me, I will never took his resignation, that he had decided to step down as our head coach. Steelers President Art Rooney II said in a statement, "Obviously, I am extremely grateful to Mike for all the hard work, dedication, success that we have shared over the last 19 years. Thomas said that the decision came after much thought and reflection. The Steelers will now join, we already said this, the Baltimore Ravens and Cleveland Browns as fellow AFC North sides looking for a new head coach. And guess who everybody thinks who might have an interest in coaching the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Oh,
John.
oh no. I don't know how that's going to turn out. Ben
Roethlisberger chimed in on this back in December because Ben Roethlisberger still carries some weight with the Steelers, and he thought that it was time for a change. And he said, I quote, "Maybe it's a clean house time. Maybe it is. Maybe it's time," he said on his football line with Ben Roethlisberger podcast. And I like Coach Tomlin. I have a lot of respect for Coach Tomlin, but maybe it's best for him too. Maybe a fresh start for him is what's best. So even Bill Roethlisberger thought it was time for a fresh start for Mike Tomlin. So we're going to see what happens. With that said, here's the statement. Mike T. After much and thought and reflection, let me say this so I can blow it up. Read this right. All right, hold on. Okay. After much thought and reflection, I had decided to step down as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. This organization has been a huge part of my life for many years, and it has been an absolute honor to lead this team. I am deeply grateful to Art Rooney II and the late Ambassador Rooney for their trust and support. I am also thankful to the players who gave everything they had every day, and to the coaches and staff whose commitment and dedication made this journey so meaningful. I want to also thank Steelers Nation. Your passion, loyalty, and high expectation represent what makes this franchise truly special. Coaching in Pittsburgh is unlike anywhere else, and I will always take great pride in having been a steward of this team. While this chapter comes to a close, my respect and love for the Pittsburgh Steelers will never change. I am excited for what the future holds for this organization, and I will forever be grateful for my time coaching in Pittsburgh. Class act.
Wow.
So that was Mike Tomlin in his statement.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I think we might see Mike Tomlin coach. If it ain't this year, it will be in the next 2 years. I think he has a lot left in the tank. I think he's going to coach again. And I think I'm going to stick to what I said, that he's going to wait for the right opportunity. I don't see him just taking any job.
Yeah. I feel like because I feel like he might just sit like 1 year in the media, like Mike McCarthy did, and then try out the coaching agency next year.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's been our today's show. We went a little over, but it's all good. Thank you guys for tuning in on the Double Drill Podcast, and I will check you out later on this week on some NBA stuff, because we got a lot of trade rumors going on, and we seen Trey Young get traded. I got to talk about that. I got to talk about what's going on in college basketball with the Michigan Wolverines and UConn Huskies and Arizona Wildcats and Iowa State. These boys are balling. Michigan lost to Wisconsin. Wisconsin and Penn State, they struggle against. They might gave teams the blueprint to beat them, but we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about the division round of the NFL playoffs. So we got a packed week. So I'll probably end up seeing everybody on Sunday. You guys enjoy your Tuesday. DameBoomin, thanks for coming on, man. I will talk to you soon. And peace and love. We out of here.
Crowd hush. One take. This us. Hit play, that theme come in. Box score brain with a bar game grin. DS Walk walk on the line like a free throw flick. Break plays down, make the jaw get hit. From the baseline beef to the trade talk rumors. Call out cap in the spin room bloopers. Stats on deck, but the slang stay local. Feels like courtside seats, not focal. Double dribble podcast, say it out loud. DS Walk talk, running through the crowd. From the tip to the buzzer, we locked in a huddle. If it bounce off glass, then we live in the trouble. Double dribble podcast, that's game, that's law. When the mic go live, whole room, say walk. Crossover convo, segment by segment. Old school heads and the rookies all checking. Hot takes simmer, then the facts come slap. We play angle on every word in the rap. From the hometown gym to the bright screen glare. He break down form, footwork flair. Box out lies, let the truth get boards. Turn small talk into highlight scores. Double dribble podcast, say it out loud. ES Walk talk, running through the crowd. From the tip to the buzzer, we locked in the huddle. If it bounce off glass, then we live in the trouble. Double dribble podcast, that's game, that's law. When the mic go live, whole room, say walk. Put your phones up high when you ride at night. Let the fast break flow, keep your mind on light. Every long week stretch, this the fourth quarter spark. DS Walk on the call, talk ball, talk hard. Double dribble podcast, say it out loud. ES Walk talk, running through the crowd. From the tip to the buzzer, we locked in the huddle. If it bounce off glass, then we live in the trouble. Double dribble podcast, that's game, that's law. When the mic go live, whole room, say walk. Put your phones up high when you ride at night. Ride. Let the fast break flow, keep your mind on light. Every long week stretch, this the fourth quarter spark. DS Walk on the call, talk ball, talk hard. Double dribble podcast.